we have a package. This package just came, and this is a lot of 4 iPhones. The reason I bought this was because this actually has an iPhone 11 in it that I believe is 256 gigabytes and is fully unlocked, no iCloud or anything. Alright guys, also I did want to show you the listing that I bought this off of. I forgot to show this at the beginning of the video, but you can see these are the pictures of all the devices. This is the listing that I bought. And this is how I knew that the iPhone 11 was unlocked. It was because they showed the IMEIs in the pictures. And then this is the description. That is the listing that I bought. And then, yeah, you can see it was delivered today. I paid $35.01 for this exactly. I bought it on a bidding, and the bidding went for like $21 plus shipping and taxes. It was $35. I'm going to be opening this up on camera. It feels like we have a box inside of here, which is good. I already have a screen for the iPhone 11. I didn't buy that for this. I already had that screen. Oh, 2 power cables. It comes with cables? Really? No, okay. It's just the phones. Alright, so first out of the package we have this is the iPhone SE I bought. This is one of the phones that came in the lot. This is an SE second generation. I believe it's 64 gigabytes and is locked. Let's see if it has any power. Expecting it probably will, because it showed it was fully charged in the listing. Okay, no, nothing. Anyway, looks like we have pretty dirty iPhone 7. Ooh, that is disgusting. See if this one has any power. Nope. I did also see they all have SIM cards, so even the ones that are locked, there could be a chance of contacting the previous owner. And then next we have the star of the show, the iPhone 11. As you can see, the screen is cracked, and wow, that is really not good for Face ID. That's probably not going to work. Yeah, I didn't realize how bad that cracked. So let's go and see if this one has any power. Dang, they must have taken those pictures a long time ago. Okay, no, this one has a little bit of power. That's good. And then finally we have the iPhone 6. This one, you can see it, the condition. I have a passcode, but it is iCloud locked though. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and... Also, I want to show you guys this really quick. So, you may already know this I use to test phones. This is the USB-C to C cable that tells you how many watts you're charging at. And I actually rigged up this thing here that this essentially converts USB-A female to USB-A female. This is just an old daughter board from an old computer, and I repurposed it by bridging those pins. So basically now this means I can plug any USB cable in here. And I've got an iPhone 1 plugged in. And this means that I can plug in the phone and I can see how many watts it's charging at. You can see this iPhone 6 is charging at 3 watts right now. So that's pretty cool. This iPhone, I can immediately see this has definitely been repaired, because this screen does not feel OEM. It doesn't sit flushly, and also you can see it's lifting up at the top. So that is definitely interesting. These three are passcode locked. This one is passcode unlocked with iCloud, but this one has iCloud off. And the iPhone 7 is charging 8 watts. It's going fast. Alright, I'm going to get these all charged up really quick, and then I will be back in a minute. Alright, and as you can see, the iPhone 11 is actually already turned on. It looks like we have a picture of a cat on the home screen. Actually, this is interesting because it looks like someone actually tried the passcode more on this, because I believe this was actually on just like an iPhone unavailable, try again in so long, and now it's permanently disabled. Like, this is the permanent lockout screen, so it looks like the people selling it must have just kept trying to unlock it. Thankfully, they didn't know to reset it in iTunes, though. I'm going to go ahead and pull off this screen protector, though, because... and then that will give us tell us what this true condition of the screen is. Oh, I just heard another one turn on. And yeah, the screen actually looks pretty good, considering that much damage up at the top. Alright, so I'm going to be beginning to look at the condition of all of them, because I know that at least one of them is turned on. Okay, yeah, this one, it looks like it's turned on. I don't know how you know whether this is iOS 15 or not, but this one, it doesn't matter as much. The good news here is that it is on the passcode locked screen, which means it is fully bypassable from iCloud. I do also see a little white spot in the screen right there, which is not great. But other than that, this condition is really pretty good on here. And then this one, it looks like is on. This one is fully locked out. You can't try the password anymore. This one you can, though. So it looks like they must have given up trying the password on this one. And we've got the iPhone 11. This one, I don't know what's going on with this one. Why is the text like off to the side? That's weird. It seems to be like a glitchy version. This is probably like an early version of 18 or something. This one is still trying to charge. I'm going to put a SIM card in this one really quick and see if it resets, because sometimes with these iPhones, the previous owner has actually reset it with iCloud, and then putting a SIM card in there that is active will actually cause the device to reset, and then you don't have to update it. We're hoping that it connects to Wi-Fi and then just goes to the hello screen. Alright, it does have an LTE connection. I'm not sure how long we need to wait to see if it resets or not. Okay, and it looks like I'm going to have to use Legacy iOS Kit to do this, because iTunes has decided to stop working. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm going to go ahead and boot into Legacy iOS Kit. Alright, so I got the iPhone SE to show up, and as you can see, it actually is on iOS 16.3.1, so it's on a really old version. That means this device hasn't been used since then, you know? So that's crazy. The person who bought this must have only used it for like a year then. Also, I shut the iPhone 7 off, and now I can't get it to boot again. Because I shut it off because I thought you needed to have it turned off to go to recovery mode, because this one won't detect in normal mode. But it is not booting now. I don't know what happened. And the iPhone 11 and 7 won't detect in the computer at all. So it looks like, okay, actually, the iPhone just came back. Huh, why is it disabled again? I didn't try the password. That's weird. Anyway, but the iPhone 6 is still trying to charge. I don't know what's going on with it. Alright, so I've tried a couple things now, and I can't really... I've put a SIM card in this and everything's, and it hasn't reset yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and restore this with Legacy iOS Kit. Press the volume up, then the down, and then hold the power button. And we're in recovery mode. Alright, guys, so I'm thinking the battery is faulty on the iPhone 6 because it still has not turned on. I've had it plugged into the fast charger. You can see the battery does work, but I've definitely had this happen to iPhones with faulty batteries. I had an iPhone 5C that did this exact same thing. The iPhone 11, I'm thinking this is already on iOS 18. I'm thinking it's an early version just because of how glitched out this lock screen is. This just looks like something that iOS 18 would definitely do. It might even be on a beta version. So this, I'm just going to restore this to 18.5. And then the iPhone 7, I'm about to put this into Baroque RAM Disk Pro, and I'm going to see what I can do from there on the iPhone 7 and try to get this one reset and bypassed. And then this one, I'm going to contact the original owner. Alright, and surprisingly, Windows Defender didn't delete Baroque RAM Disk Pro this time, so we can actually use it. Yeah, this iPhone 7 has some major issues. It's just like failing to boot half the time. I have no idea what's going on with it. I'm just trying to get it in recovery mode right now, and each time it tries to go to recovery mode, it just... Oh, there we go. Okay. Finally did it. I had to do that like 10 times. Also, this is part of the reason why I hate online applications, is because they can just do this crap anytime. And also, they could just push out an update that says you have to pay them money to use it. And you wouldn't be able to do anything about it because you have to update. Which is the way Baroque RAM Disk Pro is, so it's super annoying. I'm just hoping that it'll keep working right now. There might be better alternatives, though. I gotta look for alternatives, because Baroque RAM Disk Pro has gotten a lot worse since I started using it. Oh great, they're making me do it again. Whoa, this is pretty cool. According to Baroque RAM Disk Pro, this iPhone 7 is actually on iOS 12. So I'm gonna go ahead and... Actually, yeah, according to this, I'm pretty sure this is only iOS 12 and lower. This Connect to iTunes screen is. I didn't notice that immediately. But I'm pretty sure iOS 15 has the newer style Connect to iTunes screen, so that's actually pretty cool. I think this is on iOS 12. I'm going to go ahead and get this restored with Baroque RAM Disk Pro by saving the activation tickets and then re-importing them afterward, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, and the bypass on the iPhone 7 is done. It just needs to boot up now. It should boot to the activation screen, and then we should be good. The activation should already be good. Actually, I'm not sure. I think I might still need to re-import the activation ticket before I'm good. But it's been reset now, and the activation tickets are saved. It said that I did confirm they are saved good. Alright, and we are on the hello screen. I'm pretty sure that it will be locked, but I need to import the activation ticket if it is locked. Immediately, I'm noticing a problem here. I don't know if this has touch disease or something. This might have loop disease, actually, because it's not finding a Wi-Fi network, and as you recall, it was totally glitching out earlier, and this is still on iOS 12, so it's possible that someone stopped using it because of that. I hope that's not the case, but it's not finding a Wi-Fi network. I'm going to push, I don't know, connect to iTunes? For now, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and import the activation tickets, because I know they haven't been added yet. And that might let us into the OS if we import the activation ticket manually. Because it was failing to connect to Wi-Fi, I am going to go ahead and check SCIF setup, because I'm afraid that possibly if I don't do that, it might not connect to the Wi-Fi, and I don't really want to do this again, but I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but you know. Okay, and it did work. The iPhone 7, it is on iOS 12.2. Let's see, it's 32 gigabytes, iOS 12.2. I'm going to see if it can find the Wi-Fi network now, and if it can't, then this iPhone might be cooked. I don't know. Okay, that's really good. It does detect the Wi-Fi. Okay, so that is actually pretty cool. We have a fully working iPhone 7 on, I don't know if this is unlocked or not, actually, I don't remember. But it is on iOS 12, and that's pretty cool, actually. Because that is one of the earliest versions for this device. So that is our first win. This device is done. It doesn't have loop disease. I don't know why it was not connecting to Wi-Fi, but it wasn't. The iPhone 6 is still cooked. I'm not sure what's happening to it. It's kind of warm. This one I'm not going to try charging anymore because clearly that's not working. Okay, yeah, this iPhone is only charging at 1 watt, so there's definitely an issue with it. First, I'm going to restore the iPhone 11, though. Alright, and the iPhone 11 is flashing. This is a perfect example of just how wasteful people and Apple is. This device, the production date on it is... The production date on this is April of 2023. Or 2021. Oh my gosh, I can't. And this thing, the iOS version this thing is on, is from February of 2023. So basically, this thing was used basically a maximum of a year and a half. So, like, this iPhone has barely had any use, and now it's completely unusable. The thing is worthless, and it's got to be used for parts. Because that's just crazy, you know? The iPhone 7, obviously, it's on iOS 12. And the iPhone 11 is done restoring now. I'm going to go ahead and set this up. What the heck? I've never seen that before. I think we don't have activation lock. Oh, okay, no, there we're good. I don't know what that was. That was just like a glitch out, I guess. Alright, let's see if Face ID works. Surprisingly, Face ID did actually set up. The camera I can see, though, is definitely blurry. But, I don't know. Hopefully that will be good when we put the new screen on it. I really hope so. Alright, let's go. It is working. I'm going to go ahead and test Face ID now. Alright, Face ID works perfectly. Actually, Face ID just stopped working, so... Oh well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that will work, though, when I put the new screen on. Alright, so far we have 2 devices done. These are fully fixed. That's all they needed to be done, is just restored. Well, I mean, obviously we got to put the new screen on the iPhone 11 still. Okay, the battery health seems to be okay. It says 87% in settings. It says 86% in 3U tools, and it says it has 670 charge cycles on it. All the parts in here are original. It says all parts are original. And yeah, I think that's about it. It says the production date was what is that, May of 2017, I think. Yeah. Okay, Face ID does work very rarely, because I did just try it again and Face ID worked. And in settings, we can see no SIM restrictions and also 256 gigabytes. And we have 83% battery health. And 3U Tools says this has 710 charge cycles and 82% battery health. And production date is March of 2020. As expected, this one has all original parts. I'm going to be replacing the screen and possibly the battery too. Oh, there you can see the Face ID just worked. I did order another lot of two iPhone 11s and an iPhone 12. So from that lot, they're probably all locked. And so I was hoping to be able to put an OEM screen on this, since it is such a nice iPhone. I wanted to put an OEM screen on it. But sadly, I don't think that lot is going to be coming, because it's been over 4 days now, and there is still no tracking for it at all. So I believe that the seller is not actually going to ship that lot. Also, I paid way more for that lot. I paid like $70 for that lot. Alright, so now I'm going to get the iPhone 6 open, and we're going to see what this is looking like on the inside, because I can't do anything with this one right now. I can't even get it into recovery mode or anything. I do have another iPhone 6 that works, that I can take the battery out of if I have to, but I would prefer to not do that, because this one, I don't really want to open it, because this screen is an aftermarket screen and it's really kind of falling apart, and I'm afraid I'll break it if I open it again. And this has definitely been opened before. This screw is totally stripped out. It's turning. The actual head is not stripped out. It's the threads that are stripped out. It's turning and not coming out, so I'm just going to have to pry open the screen, and honestly, I don't really know. Actually, no, they weren't stripped out. They were just not screwed in. Like, I just stuck my screwdriver in there, and it just came out with the magnet. So they were just, like, not screwed into anything. I'm not really sure how that's possible. Alright, so inside here, immediately there are some noticeable issues. This battery, as you can see, it kind of looks puffy and just kind of funny, weird almost, you know? That basically always means that the battery is just toast and is not going to work. As you can see, this is the problem. The places where the screws screw into the screen, they're just gone. They're not even there. I don't know how to tell if this screen is aftermarket. I don't see any major problems inside here. I mean, like, so far I'm not seeing any missing screws or anything. I don't know if you see something that I don't, tell me in the comments. But I don't see anything that is, like, immediately a major problem. Also, that camera is offset, so that's definitely been tampered with. Also, guys, this is something that's kind of crazy. So I have an aftermarket lightning cable here. I plug it into this iPhone 7, charges it, works good. If I plug that same cable into the iPhone 11, it doesn't charge. It just doesn't charge at all. That's just because Apple has added something that stops you from being able to use aftermarket chargers. I'm not sure what they did, but it's really crappy. Alright, here's how we can know if this is an OEM screen. We can see this first cable. It says MK and it has an Apple logo. The second cable here, it doesn't show anything on it. Front and back are blank, so that could be non-OEM. That cable has an Apple logo on it, and that cable has an Apple logo on it. So I believe there is two separate cables for the digitizer and the actual screen. So I believe this is actually an OEM screen, which is surprising. There also would normally be an Apple logo right there, but obviously that part is broken. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the voltage in this battery. I've got my multimeter here, and this should say somewhere around 4 volts if this is charged. Basically, to do that, you just got to basically probe different parts of this connector until you get a reading. And you can see here, I get a reading of 4.17 volts. So this battery it's got the voltage it needs. It's probably the amps that is causing this battery to not function. Okay, so I just put the battery from this iPhone 6 into this one. Also, by the way, the iPhone 7 is locked to T-Mobile, and the 11 obviously is unlocked. I just put that in there. So this Yeah, it doesn't have a password. Okay. So we can see, yeah, it has the Apple ID and everything. So I could like message them or something. And it looks like this is actually not fully updated. It's on iOS 12.5.5, so it's mostly updated, but not fully updated. And it is a 64 gig model. Okay, so this phone, it looks like all of the parts actually are original to the phone. According to 3U Tools, everything is original except for the battery, and that's obviously, I just changed the battery right now. It looks like maybe, I don't know, someone must have taken it apart to try to fix it or something, and then they weren't successful. I don't know. Okay, so after this iPhone 6 has been plugged in for a total of about 5 hours on the original battery, it finally did turn on, and I went into settings, and I have never seen a battery health rating that low. 51% is crazy. Alright, so I got this iPhone 6 all cleaned up on the inside. I cleaned everything in here. It's all put back together. And then this time, and I'm going to close it up and actually see the screen correctly. I'm not going to be fixing anything on this phone since it's iCloud locked. And it's just an iPhone 6. It's not old enough for it to be worth it. Okay, guys, here is the final results of the iPhone lot. Here is the iPhone 11. See if we can get Face ID to work. Oh wait, hold up. What the heck? I have not changed my passcode. Okay, that was extremely weird. I definitely did not change the passcode on this, but anyway. This is fully functional. The cracks are honestly not that bad. Like, it doesn't make it unusable at all. You could still totally use this the way it is. And the reason I'm not installing this screen on it yet is because, as I've already said, I ordered another lot of iPhone 11s that I believe has a good OEM screen. This, I will be making another video on replacing the screen on this. And then we have the iPhone SE. This one is completely locked. There's nothing I can do about this. It's fully locked. I did contact the owner. Alright, yeah, the number for this phone, the number that's linked to this phone, doesn't actually even exist anymore. Like, the number, I called it, and it just brought me to, like, a automated message that said this number is not existent, basically. So there's definitely no chance of contacting the previous owner. So I'm just gonna have to use it for parts. And then we obviously have the iPhone 7 that is on iOS 12.2. This one, the battery is pretty good on it. I'm not going to bother to replace the battery. And of course, this is 256 gigabytes. This is 64 gigabytes. This is 32 gigabytes. And this is 64 gigabytes. And then the iPhone 6, I have it plugged in right now. I'm trying to get it to fully charge up. It's charging at 0 watts, but for the battery percentage is going up. So I'm not sure what the deal with that is. But this one, I'm not sure if I might bypass this one from iCloud, so that way it'll just be reset, but it doesn't really accomplish a ton because it is, open. But I'm not going to replace the battery in it because obviously it's just not worth it for this old of an iPhone because the screen is super bad and stuff too. And then this one I did tape over that top corner so that way dust and things won't get in there. This one is fully cleaned up and it is actually better than I expected it to be. The bottom screws, I didn't reinstall those because I'm not screwing them into anything if I do install them. I haven't actually tested Touch ID on these two, but I'm assuming that it probably works because they have the original home buttons. Okay, I did actually just test Touch ID on these, and they do have Touch ID working good. Also, I forgot to say, these two devices, I'm just going to be keeping them because you can't really sell iCloud locked devices. It just doesn't, it's not really ethical to do that. This one I'm going to be using for parts. And this one, I'm not really sure. I should sell this one, but also it's really nice at the same time. I kind of want to keep it, so I will probably sell it though, but I might not sell it immediately. That is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.